Hello everybody and welcome to a new video with McForce. So what I'm about to show you is probably going to be the future of how we will run software in production, where errors don't wait for a developer, they fix themselves. What's the normal process normally? So an error occurs, a ticket gets raised, the ticket sits in a queue, eventually a developer picks it up, logs into the system, reads through pages of cryptic logs, trying to understand what happened, traces the issue back through the code, designs a fix, tests it, and deploys it. Hours pass, sometimes days. Meanwhile, the business waits, customers wait, and revenue waits. What if we could compress that diagnostic effort and automate it? That's exactly what I've actually built. I've created a closed loop where errors trigger their own analysis. That analysis triggers its own fix, and the fix waits patiently for a human to say yes. No autonomous deployments, no AI making production changes on its own, full reversibility, full human authority. So with that, let's switch over to the platform and see this in action. So let me set the scene. Imagine I'm the relationship manager for a bank. I'm onboarding a new corporate customer, Acme Corp, and I need to get them set up on our banking platform. Now, before we can actually go live, we need to do a critical step. We need to run an automated credit assessment. This is obviously the compliance and risk requirement, and that every new corporate customer needs to go through. They need to be assessed so that we can actually activate their account. So you'll notice this Run Credit Assessment button. And what that's actually going to do is invoke a Apex class. And what that does is, first of all, it goes through our account and it's going to check how big is this account. It's going to check the annual revenue. It's also going to go through the contacts, very important, checking if there are any primary contacts. It's also going to check their KYC statuses. Then it's going to go through the opportunities, also checking the amounts, how many there are, things like that. And then it's going to give us a credit score. Every account starts with a baseline of 500, right? And then what I'm going to do is click Run Credit Assessment. Ooh, I get an error. Okie dokes. Next step is then to go and view our RF logs. Let me just go into my list that I've created. Get in here and boom. Now what I've got here is not only a normal RF log, but I also have an AI analysis. So I've got some agent force in the background that's pulled up a prompt to look at this record, and not only does it look through this to do analysis, but through what is given here, it also has got access to Apex, so it can actually go into my Apex and give a root cause at a code level. And it would give the root cause of that. So here it will say on line 80 there, it detects a null reference when accessing primary contact details. Now remember, when we were on accounts, on the account and on the contacts, there were no primary contacts set, and that's why we actually got this error. Okay, I'm just going to actually go on to this tab because what I've created is a Lightning Web component that is run through a screen flow. The reason why we do that is because we've got a prompt that is basically called through the screen flow, and that renders properly through the Lightning Web component. So you would see this renders much better. And then right at the bottom, what I really want to show you is the final statement. This error was caused by the code. And then a fix button is available below to address this issue. So when I click this button, what it's actually doing now is it's calling another Apex that is calling GitHub through a secure API using a stored token for authentication. GitHub receives the request and triggers something called a GitHub Actions workflow. Think of this like an automated robot that runs in GitHub's cloud. And that workflow takes the AI analysis that we've sent it, combines it with actual code that needs fixing, and sends it to Claude, which is another AI specifically trained for writing and understanding code. And Claude then generates a fixed version of the code. The workflow takes that fixed code, creates a new branch, commits the change, and raises a pull request for a human to review. All of this happens in about 30 to 60 seconds. So let's then go to our repo and actually check what's happened. So you'll see there's nothing. We now have a new pull request. If I click on this pull request, we've got a new credit assessment service incident. Awesome. So here what we see is the recommendation that we actually sent from Salesforce, right? Now, what we need to do, this is the one place where a human needs to come in, because the AI can't just, go and like create the branch and approve and put it through. This is where a human needs to look at this and then fix or approve, I mean. So let's read. Fixed added a null check for primary contact to prevent null pointer exception. Assigns the default values when no primary contact exists. Okay, so I'm happy. I will review, approve, and submit. Right, then I can just quickly merge without waiting and bypass my rules and confirm and merge because I am the boss. Okie dokes. So this is another thing that we need to do manually. Obviously, in the real world, it will be part of the CI/CD pipeline. So this will happen automatically. I can go and sync. This is obviously what it received from GitHub. And I just need to deploy it. And deploy this to source org. Right, it should have sent it to Salesforce. Let's go back to my account and moment of truth. Can I have a drum roll? Please run credit assessment again. Check my credit score and credit status. If I click run credit assessment, it passed. Credit assessment completed. Awesome. Let's refresh. Yes, my credit score is now 660 and it's approved with conditions. So just think quickly what happened here. Everything was fixed within a couple of minutes. This would have normally taken hours to days. The whole process from the error occurring through the developer going through the code, fixing it, deploying it or sending it to GitHub. This has taken. It's saved so much time. Now, just to show, if I had a contact that had was a primary contact, and let me just refresh to make 100% sure. If I run now, it's It's now 760. And the credit status was approved. So let's just quickly explain what the AI did to the code. So the AI fix added a safety check. Now, if no primary contact is flagged on the account, the code doesn't just crash. It simply treats the KYC status as not available and continues with the assessment. This is the right behavior from a business perspective too, because an account without a verified primary contact, it generally, the score should be lower. So the due diligence is incomplete. And basically in real life, this would have worked. It's a, it's almost a perfect remedy. So this was my fix. That's it. Guys, please tell me what you think. I would love and appreciate any feedback. And thank you for watching.